They're ooey, they're chewy, they're gooey.
And they're not your average cookie. Hey, we're Family Food, and today we're cooking you up something really special. These are the best chocolate chip cookies you've ever had.
The steps aren't really that complicated, but the end result is something that is sure to amaze your friends.
These cookies are not your average chocolate chip cookies, so you'll definitely want to stay tuned and see how we make them.
So in order to make the world's most perfect cookies, you're going to need the right setup. So here for our cookies, we have the wet team and the dry team. Starting on my left, these are all the ingredients that are crucial to making the wet team. This is going to be really the first stage of the cookies. Over here, the dry team is going to get incorporated into the wet team, completing the dough. Starting off with 2 ounces of white and 8 ounces of dark brown sugar goes into our mixing bowl. And we're going to beat that up with our whisk just to make sure that there's no unwanted clumps hiding around. Now the reason why this is part of the wet team is because we're going to cream it with our butter. And that's going to make a wet base, pretty much what the cookies are built off of. So once we got our sugar broken up in the bowl, we're going to add 8 ounces of butter that's been melted over low heat. We're going to make sure to get all of this into the mixing bowl. And now we're going to bring in the power tools. Starting on low, we're going to cream the butter and the sugar together. Creamed, it looks kind of like caramel. So next, we have to get the rest of our wet team ready. So we're going to get this out of the way. And starting off with 1 egg and 1 egg yolk, we're going to add to that about a tablespoon of Mexican vanilla, if you can find it. Mexican vanilla, as opposed to regular vanilla, gives a little bit of spice and some cinnamon flavor. Now we're going to go with my secret ingredient, molasses. Now this is the byproduct of making sugar. And we're going to finish that off with 1 ounce of whole milk. Now that everything's in here, we're going to whisk it up. Now once we have the rest of the wet team fully assembled, we're going to mix it in on low.
Now that Jonathan has all the wet ingredients together, I'm team dry. So let's get all of these incorporated into the wet mixture. So we're going to be using 12 ounces of bread flour. Bread flour has more gluten, and more gluten equals a chewier cookie. You always have to sift your flour, which makes for a better cookie. And to the flour, we're going to add a teaspoon each of salt and baking soda. And give it a quick whisk. So now we're going to put the dry ingredients into the wet. We're going to do increments of 3, just eyeball it.
A stand mixer with a paddle attachment is ideal here, but a good home cook just works with what they have.
That until it just comes together.
When you're done, you should have a beautiful golden brown thick cookie batter, just like this. It might be tempting to eat this raw, but you really shouldn't. It contains eggs and can make you sick, and only a fool would do that. The last and most crucial ingredient, I think,
The best ingredient ever.
the star of the show, chocolate chips. We have here a mixture of semi-sweet and white chocolate, so we're going to just dump these into the bowl. That's teamwork right there.
And with our handy spatula, we're going to mix these in.
Oh,
Look at the orange.
oh my God. If that does not make you lick your chops, you need to just go home right now. Here we go. We have a delicious, beautiful cookie dough.
This is not your grandma's chocolate chip cookies.
In fact, it'll make you want to slap your grandma if she made you eat store-bought.
If you slap your grandma, don't blame us. But these cookies are seriously going to be amazing.
Yeah, don't slap your grandma.
Don't do it.
Before we bake them, we're going to make sure to let this dough chill. So we're going to cover it with foil or plastic wrap, and then stash it in our freezer for 30 to 45 minutes, or the fridge for about an hour to an hour and a half. So chilling it will make it a lot easier to portion, and it'll keep its shape when it bakes. That's it. Our dough is chilled, our oven is preheated, our pan is lined, our hands are clean.
And now it's time to portion.
We're going to use these.
And we're going to do 1-inch balls, but you can do the cookies whatever size you like.
Our oven's at 365. Keep in mind that every oven is different, so you're going to want to play with your times, but 360 is a good place to start. Go up and down as needed if it gets too under or overdone. And now, the waiting game. The worst part, really. We're gonna set our timer for approximately 6 minutes. That's the halfway point at which we're going to rotate. And we're at the halfway point, so we're gonna turn them. They are looking just angelic as ever right now. I'm not gonna lie to you when I say every single time I make chocolate chip cookies, I get excited. We're gonna do this for another 6 minutes. And wait a little bit longer. Aside from the timer going off, one surefire way to know your cookies are done is by smell. The smell is gonna really elevate. You're gonna feel it peak. Almost like it's singing to you. Oh, that actually sounds like them right now. That looks perfect. You notice? They're a little bit soft to the touch, but that's exactly how you want them. You want them to feel a bit doughy in the center. That way whenever it dries, it's nice, soft, moist, chewy. God, I'm making myself hungry right now.
So now that we've got these out of the oven, the best way to cool them off is to put them on a cooling rack. That really helps with the texture. I cannot wait to eat one of these. These are the ultimate diet killer.
Well, here we are. We're back with our finished product. It's all plated out nice and pretty. And honestly,
I need to eat it right now.
that's what I was going to say. I cannot wait to dig in. You go for the cookie first, sis.
Yeah. You have to get everything in one bite.
Yeah. These make me feel like I'm 12 years old again.
These are so amazing.
It almost makes me forget how big of a butthead you are. It's a perfect
So
dessert.
good.
Oh my god.
And the molasses in the cookie, the extra brown sugar, the Mexican vanilla, it really makes the cookie different than regular chocolate chip cookies.
It does.
This would be the perfect thing to take to a potluck or something to impress everybody. Everybody will want your recipe.
Very true. They'll think, oh, simple chocolate chip cookie. They'll take a bite. They'll slap their grandmas. So chocolate chip cookies remind us of our childhood. So what we want you to do is go down in the comments and tell us about your first or favorite chocolate chip cookie experience.
So let us know what recipes you would like to see in the future. And don't forget, there's no food quite like family food. We'll see you next time.
See you next time. Bye.